Hey, bonjour classe de français 3, comment ça va? Bienvenue à notre classe de vidéo pour le premier chapitre dans notre livre, page 5, les adjectifs. On commence? Ah oui, et bienvenue. Classe, cette page se trouve dans votre livre, votre texte de classe, à la page 5. Alors, cherchez-le si vous voulez, mais sinon, juste regardez la vidéo et j'ai tout ce qu'il faut. We are learning adjectives, reviewing a lot of these adjectives. In fact, if you start looking at the list, you probably know more than half of them already. The first part of this video will be pronunciation practice. So I will go over each of the words, pronounce them, and give you a chance to listen and repeat. The second part will be talking about masculine versus feminine, singular versus plural, because as you know already, in French, every adjective has its different forms. Whether you're describing something masculine or feminine, you have to make the adjective fit. And then the last part will be maybe troubleshooting some of these that are more difficult, talking about what some of them mean. I'm not going to tell you what all of them mean because I feel like you can do many of them, but there are just a few on here that I want to go over special. Okay? So let's just start with pronunciation. Écoutez et répétez après moi. Actif, aimable, amusant, attentif, brillant, compréhensif, consciencieux. That one was a little tricky. Try it again. Consciencieux. Bravo. Courageux, discret, drôle, dynamique, énergique, gentil, généreux, honnête, imaginatif, intéressant, joyeux, optimiste, organisé, patient, poli, ouvert, sensible, sérieux, spirituel, spontané, sympathique, tolérant. Did you notice that this list, they're all positive things? Oui, les qualités, les bonnes qualités qu'il faut pour être heureux, pour être une bonne personne. Mais, de temps en temps, on a les défauts. So let's take a look over here at défauts. Bête, distant, égoïste, ennuyeux, impoli, inactif, incompréhensif, indifférent, indiscret, indiscipliné, méchant, paresseux, pénible, pessimiste, prétentieux, renfermé, sévère, stupide, timide, triste, vaniteux. Alors, les défauts, de temps en temps, ça existe. Now, these adjectives are all personality traits and qualities. We're not talking about what someone looks like. That's coming in a later chapter. So if you wanted to describe your personality, which of these would you choose? Are you actif? Are you optimiste? Are you sérieux? Maybe some of you are timide. I don't know why timide is on the false list because there's nothing wrong with being shy. Sometimes it's a good thing. Maybe you're a little bit pessimiste or sometimes paresseux. Do your friends call each other bête? Oui. Think about that because we are going to have an assignment this week that involves you describing yourself and others using primarily this list. Now, second part is to talk about masculine and feminine because it's all fine and good if you're a guy and you want to say, je suis actif, aimable, amusant, attentif, brillant. You don't have to change anything. Ah, but what if you are a girl or you're describing a girl? Then you do need to change to the feminine. Actif becomes active. So you would change the IF to a VE. Active. This is just like one of the words we learned back in French 1 and French 2. Sportif becomes sportive. Same thing here. Aimable does not change because it already ends with an E. Amusant becomes amusante. Now, what do you think is going to happen with attentif? It looks the same as actif, does it not? And that's exactly, oops, I didn't mean to click the button with my stylus. That's exactly what it does. Attentif becomes attentive, okay? So see if you can find others that are like actif and attentif that would change from an IF to a VE, and see if you can mark those on the page that's provided in Google Classroom. There are a few others that are a little bit different. Conscientious, that was the one that was tricky to pronounce. Conscientious. It means conscientious. Conscientious, like you care about things and you really take care and you are careful with your work and you don't want to miss anything and, you know, dot all the I's, cross all the T's. That's someone who is consciencieux. If that someone happens to be a girl, you're going to change the ending to E-U-S-E, consciencieuse. Okay? And look at this one, courageux. Guess what? Same thing. Courageux becomes courageuse. Et voilà. Are there any others on here that would do the same thing? You bet they are. See if you can find them. I think that basically covers our differences. Oh, there's one you should know. Gentil, if it ends with an L, the feminine is gentille. Pronounced the same, but double L-E. I think there might be one more like that on here. Now let's move over to the défaut, the faults. How are we going to change these from masculine to feminine? Well, bête doesn't need a change. It already has an E. Distant would become distante. Égoïste, same thing as bête, already ends with an E. Ennuyeux, we've seen this ending before. Do you remember what it is? Look back over at the, oh, I need to point this way. Look back over at the qualité, oui. The rest of them, inactif, incompréhensif, we've seen that ending before. How would you make it feminine? Inactive, incompréhensive. And I love how these that are the opposites of certain things, they just add an "un." That's like the English "un." Or inactive is actually a word, indifferent. Means you don't care about something. Indiscreet means you can't keep a secret, whereas over here, discreet, discret, means you can keep a secret. Which one are you? Think about that. Again, when we look at paresseux, prétentieux, we've already seen this kind of ending, so how would you go about making that feminine? Class, spend some time with this list and see how many of them you already know. I did mention I was going to talk about a couple. They're already marked here for you in English, but it's important to notice that sensible, although it looks like the English word sensible, doesn't really mean that. It means sensitive. Like you really are maybe an empathetic person. You care about others. Your feelings might get hurt easily, but that's just because you really care. You are a sensitive person. A spirituel, it looks like you're talking about someone who goes to church all the time because the Spirit is moving them. But really, it has to do with your wit. Can you tell a good joke? Do you understand puns? Do you always have a snappy, snarky comeback? That's what spirituel means, someone who is witty, with a sharp sense of humor. All right, any other questions that you might end up having, we will definitely address in class. But for now, spend some time with this list and also start thinking about yourself, your family, your friends, other people whose personalities you could describe, because that's going to be our activity when we meet next time. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can keep up with all of our class videos. Until the next time, à bientôt et au revoir.